Okay, Coach, thank you. We've got clear skies and brisk temperatures. You know what that is? That's perfect fall football weather here at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
First carry for Nick Chubb. A huge play there right off the bat. 75 yards. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. This Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. The tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready, flag, get that quarterback, D-line, get that.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jameis to throw it. Washington's got it. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we Talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Check.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 50. Check, flip it. Check 99. Check 99. Let me go.
Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to fire one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. And they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Here's Mayfield. Screenplay, Johnson. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd and 15 now. Winston, he's going to launch it for Washington. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 58 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Johnson, the intended target. First quarter, and now he already has has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Here we go. 57's the Mike. Watch 57. I got you. 57. Mike, 57.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On second down, Mayfield again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zones before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the back. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Check. Rush in. Hey, stop.
And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Here's Winston. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
A second down throw for Winston. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A run for Nick Chubb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
He's brought down by Sean Davis. It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. To throw, Mayfield. Got an open man, it's Ratley. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Mayfield down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Check 53. Let's go one more. Check. Let's go.
3rd and long for Winston. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. They'll run on 1st down. Coleman. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Winston. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st down, it's Coleman. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. With the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
So in the end, they had the ball for not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.